Good morning, everyone. I'm Kinya Morongo, and as you can probably tell, I'm the granddaughter of Professor Leigh Morongo. And here's a little bit more about me. I go to Roslyn Academy. It's a complete school from grade school to high school, from secondary. And I will be a freshman this year, so I'm going to be starting my first year of high school. And other than programming for Java or Unity or whatever I'm working for, I also like to make some music. I like to read, and I also like to type. And I like a great variety of video games and computer games, whatever they may be. But even more than that, I like to create my own games so that I can see what I've done and see if they're enjoyable to others, and just to see how I can make them better and improve them. And some of the computer camps I've been to is that last year I went to a computer camp in San Francisco to learn how to code with Python. And this last summer I went to a Unity for iOS and Android and Java coding camp with Chase. I also went to the Python camp with Chase. And I also made a game in the Unity camp in which I have a link to, and I will load up right now. So this is the game I made. It's called Unfair Nyan Cat. So basically you try to get to the end of the stage while trying to avoid traps. I will give a brief demonstration of how this works. So you use the arrow keys to move and the spacebar to jump. And if you fall through the cracks or hit a certain block with a trap in it, the game's over. So you're basically trying to get to the end of the game. And that's all about me, really. So I'll hand over to Chase so that he can introduce himself as well.
Sure.
Hello, I'm Chase Morongo, and I flew here from the San Francisco airport near my house in Burlingame, California. So how did I get started coding anyways? It all started one day when I was entering 7th grade, and I was going to be using a Khan Academy account to learn math. So what happened was, before I logged in and when I was on the start page, something caught my eye. It was a banner that said new, and of course that's kind of exciting. So then I soon realized that there was a new section to Khan Academy, the computer science section, where you could learn how to program, and as I imagined, I could make my own games. Now, I hadn't heard of any game making software then, so I was really excited about this because this was the first place where I could actually design my own games. So I've been thinking about being right here to teach you guys for a little bit, and let's think about what it's going to be like once the class is over. You guys should probably be able to make your own JavaScript programs that can do things, that can log to the console, open pop-up boxes. You'll also be able to make your own web pages too with the DOM. So, and don't forget, the opportunities keep opening. So I'm going to show 2 programs. One's a perspective program where it's kind of like you're flying over a plane, a kind of a grid plane. I'll put the most recent version of that. And then the other one is a Happy New Year card, I'll say, with fireworks. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
So that was my Happy New Year's card. It was pretty popular, and I was pretty happy with it.
Can I mention that Chase, in the US, that Happy New Year card was identified by Khan Academy as #1.
Wow. So what I want to do is to give you an overview of what Java is, what is this JavaScript, and how do we create the simple programs in using JavaScript. However, practically I will not do anything. I will leave them to do the practicals.
So my first variable that I'm comparing is the number of kids that I'm going to have, which is 5 in this case. If you want to have anything, you can change it to anything you want. But I had 5 for mine. And then I also declared the variable for who's going to be my partner, which is David Beckham in this case. The place that we're going to be working in, or where my job is going to be in Zambia. And I also declared my job title, which is web developer. And I also had all separated with semicolons, just to make sure you don't get any errors. So I've also declared the variable future, which is having the string you will be, and then I have the job title, which is web developer in this case, in the certain place where I'm going to be, and married to my partner with how many number of kids that I'm going to have, and then the other string kids. And then I say console.log with the future in brackets, in curly brackets, semicolon. So if you print that out, for example, you'll get, you will be a web developer in Zambia and married to Davis Beckham with 5 kids. So getting back to what Mr. James was saying here, I declared my variables, I put them with a certain object that I wanted to have, and I executed them and made sure that they worked properly, and also put them in together, integrating with certain objects.
Just one.
All right. So moving on to functions. It's also fortune teller based. So also I put the fortune teller with the tell fortune as the function tell fortune with the quotes in job title, location, partner, and number of kids once again. So the variable is future. You will be a job title in location and married to with the partner and then having the number of kids that you're going to have. So I have the variable tell fortune, basketball player, Spain and Shaq, which is 3. So as a result I have you will be a basketball player in Spain and married to Shaq with 3 kids. So getting back to also what Mr. James was saying, I don't have to put them all in one. I don't have to keep on repeating the same process over and over. I can still use that same code as many times as I want, just having different circumstances for each one. Like the second example, which will be you will be a stunt double in Japan and married to Ryan Gosling with 3,000 kids. You can have whatever number you want and whoever you want to be married to and whatever you want to do. And the third one will be you will be an Elvis impersonator in Russia and married to the oatmeal with 500 kids. So once again, I do not have the different one for each separate one. I'm just having one code and utilizing it multiple times in different situations.
Okay, everybody with me? Okay. So next you want to open the script tab. This is where you can write JavaScript.
Yes.
Okay, good. And now we're going to close the body tag and do it before the head tag, before the HTML tag, even though, sometimes it doesn't matter if you make a mistake like that. And then once you close the body tag, you are going to close the HTML tag. We're basically telling the computer that name means the string of characters, Tony. So basically, if you were to read it like a human, you can read it, it's saying that Tony is your name. But the computer reads it as, okay, I'm assigning a variable with the variable name, and it's going to have the value, this string of chars, which is complicated like chars, and then right here we're saying, when open a window, and it's going to be an alert box, and the text inside it is going to be name or Tony. So yeah, and by the way, this calls for a string. So it wouldn't work if you said Tony without quotes. Yeah, because Tony, then it would say something like Tony is undefined.
I really appreciate very much, and I appreciate these young ones here. It's a big risk. We were taking a big risk of wanting for them to come to university, and yet, both of them are 14 years old. And so it's a big risk for me. You can imagine. I was wondering, how are they going to perform? How are they going to be appreciated? You don't think that I go through that, do you? But it is a wonderful thing that we're also learning that anybody can teach us. And for them, they are also learning. And so this is a journey that we should start in life together with them. You want to make sure that he is taller than me. So it is a journey that we hope that in 10 years' time, you don't know where you're going to take each other. If you hold hands together, that's how we create Africa. Okay? So thank you very much. I appreciate your courage, standing in front of the university students and feeling humbled about it. Sindio. So thank you very much, and I hope you, at the end of the day, you are going to learn something. They are also going to learn something as you continue to grow together. Thank you.